Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the program, The Gavel. I am Benny Ark. The House Committee on Public Accounts is asking the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment to refund a 75 billion naira COVID-19 intervention fund to the federal government. They are also asking the Federal Ministry of Health to refund the sum of 10 billion naira, which was budgeted for COVID-19 vaccine production. Please watch.
The House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts is asking the Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment to refund the 75 billion naira COVID-19 intervention fund to the federal government. The Public Accounts Committee passed this resolution at an investigative hearing on COVID-19 funds in Abuja. The committee observes that it had sent 3 written invitations to the Ministry of Trade and Investment to appear and account for the funds to no avail.
We've given an invitation to appear before this committee, this constitutional committee, to explain the usage, the application of the sum of 75 billion. And up till now, they have refused to appear. It therefore means that the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment do not have any explanation as to how this money was used. On that basis, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, Mercy Akwa is my name. I move with using the relevant section of the financial regulations. I move that this very ministry be asked to refund the sum of 75 billion to government.
In section 3112, 3115, 3105, 3101 has outlined different penalties for persons holding government offices, especially accounting officers who refuse to give account of how monies are expended to the Attorney General for the Federation and to the National Assembly, which is the body constitutionally empowered to get such accounts audited and reported on. And let me quickly add this. Section 111 of the Financial Regulation even goes further to say that even where an accounting officer has ceased to hold such an office by virtue of retirement, resignation, or whatever it is, that person can still be called upon at any time to account for the monies which were released by the government during his tenure. And in this case, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, as at the time of this expenditure, and all other persons in the ministry as at now who are supposed to give account, the former Permanent Secretary and the current Permanent Secretary, are affected by this motion to refund the sum of 75 billion naira back to the federal government as COVID-19 intervention fund, which, as far as we are concerned, has not been expended. So those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Those against, should say nay. The ayes have it. The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, the Permanent Secretary, is hereby ordered to cause a refund of a sum of 75 billion naira back to the Federation account within 7 days and present documents to indicate such a refund unfailingly. Thank you.
Similarly, the committee is asking the Federal Ministry of Health to refund the sum of 10 billion naira, which was budgeted for COVID-19 vaccine production, as it is yet to be utilized by the ministry.
10 billion, which was meant for the production of a COVID-19 vaccine. Unfortunately, sir, this has caused a lot of issues, even within the Federal Ministry of Health. The money is still there.
The money is where?
It's still there. The money is
What's the meaning of there?
in federal government coffers of the ministry. It has
In the
not been
federal
utilized.
in the consolidated revenue of the Federation?
In the Federal Ministry of Health coffers.
Oh, the money is still with the Federal Ministry of Health.
Yes. It's here. That's it. I have the.
No, madam, just wait. It's not about what,
No, I want to
it's
explain
not about
to
what you have.
No, I want to explain to you.
Okay,
what
go
happened.
ahead. Explain. Let me listen
When I
first.
came on board 4 months ago, we were informed the same time as the ministers. There is a 10 billion COVID-19 fund that has not been utilized, and it was meant for production of COVID-19 vaccines. The former administration had some issues. They could not come up with whether they were going to give it for the production of COVID-19 or not. But there was a company, BioVaccines, or there is a company rather, BioVaccines Nigeria Limited, that is on ground that should have produced the vaccines. But there were issues. I don't know what the issues were. But we've had series of meetings. The coordinating Minister of Health, Alhaji Mohammed Pate, the Minister of State, Dr. Tunji Alausa, myself, the department, and the Federal Ministry of Finance. And the last meeting we held prior to the Christmas celebration was agreed by MOFI, Ministry of Finance Incorporated, the Federal Ministry of Finance, Federal Ministry of Health, and the BioVaccine, that the sum of Bank of Industry, the sum of 10 billion, this amount, considering MOFI is in charge of all federal government assets, that the Federal Ministry of Health is to transfer this money in the presence of Bank of Industry, Ministry of Finance, and MOFI to MOFI. Was it to MOFI or to Bank? Yes, to MOFI. Because MOFI is in charge of all federal government assets. So moving forward, MOFI will work with BioVaccines to ensure, because the budget line indicates production of COVID-19 vaccines. And we said COVID-19 is over and done with. These are federal government funds.
This is your submission?
Yes.
This is your documents?
Yes.
We are a house that deals with documents. The oral testimony cannot override whatever is not included here. And in the whole of your document, there is nowhere you indicate or indicated that you have a 10 billion naira sitting online somewhere that has not been used. Just a moment. Yeah, you should take responsibility for that. And then, since the Auditor General raised this issue in maybe 2022 or thereabout, till now, there has not been any formal response or explanation from the Federal Ministry of Health to the Auditor General for the Federation on this money. I think some people need to really some people really need to ask a lot of questions on this.
I think what we need is for that money to be returned, and then you apply for the funds again if you need it to do something that currently needs to be done. So on this note, Chairman, I want to move that those funds be returned and utilized for very, very urgent national important things. When you need funds like that again, they can make funds readily available for you. Not just keep 10 billion naira, which was equivalent to, God knows, $30 million before. Now it's less than $10 million or something. It's become 1/3 of the value as we speak in 3 years. So let that money be returned. Let the federal government and Nigerians use it for something that will be beneficial to us. When you need funds for other things, you can apply and budgetary allocation will be made for you. So I move a motion that the money should be returned to be used for very important, urgent things. Chairman, thank you.
It's not like a place where it's a platform for administering the fund. So the money should be somewhere, either with the CBN or with the bank or whatever it is. Madam, we expect you to submit evidence of remittance of that money back to government within 7 days to the Public Account Committee, and also supply all other documents and information so observed and required. So we're going to adjourn your hearing and give you a fresh date for continuation and completion of this hearing.
In continuation of its investigations, the committee raised the concern of lack of cooperation from the Rural Electrification Agency.
The Secretariat is just informing me now that you have refused to make any written presentation to this honorable committee, in spite of the fact that you have been written on 2 occasions. And we have also made publication on 2 occasions in national dailies. The first time was in 3 national dailies, giving you a schedule of appearance. The second one was the one on the 4th of January in the Punch and Daily Trust, giving you a time also for appearance. And I've been told that in spite of all that, you have refused to make any presentation to the Public Account Committee on how you spent a sum of, you got like 12 point something billion naira for COVID-19 expenditure, that you have not made any presentation to this committee. I'm also told by the committees, especially the team that went to the Southwest on oversight and the team that went to South on oversight, that your officials refused to cooperate with them to take them to location of some of the projects that we saw that was claimed to have been spent, to have been used, on which you used the sum of money released to the by the federal government to you as COVID-19 expenditure fund, and that from the Southwest, headed by the Right Honorable Oshoba, that your zonal head refused all entreaties to make him to work together with them to take them to the project location. The same thing in the South-South. And I said this is a good opportunity for you to start off by responding. The first response is on why you have refused to honor previous invitations and why you have refused to also respond to the request for documents on how this sum of money was expended. So you have the floor.
And I just want to categorically say that we didn't refuse to honor it due to some circumstances. It wasn't deliberate at all, Honorable Chairman, and there's no disrespect at all that was intended. There was no refusal to submit the documents. We have actually been working very hard on it, even with the site visits. We struggled a little with the timing because unfortunately I wasn't around when the initial letter came in. So I had instructed that the zonal coordinators are giving all the necessary support to actually be able to administer those site visits. Unfortunately, it didn't go all according to our plan because I also came back and found out that some of the
You said you instructed your zonal coordinators to cooperate with the subcommittees.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
can we have a copy of that correspondence? The correspondence you sent to your zonal offices to tell them that there's a team was coming and that they should work together with them. Can you submit a copy
yes,
of that correspondence?
Yes, sir. We can make that copy available, sir.
All right.
And most importantly, sir, I sincerely apologize for this mishap, and I assure you we'll be on top of it. And even today, to be very honest with you, Honorable Chairman, Honorable members, I know that the communication was done in the publications and the newspapers you mentioned. From my side and from the executive director's side, we were working very hard to make sure that everything with the zonal visits were being done. I tried to reach out just so that I can plead for additional time, please, so that we can bring together all the documents that have been requested for and put this issue to bed once and for all. But the site visits, I assure you, Honorable Chairman, I'm looking at it myself directly to make sure that we don't have this sort of hiccups. I know that some of them were successful. I know some people, I had a chat with the clerk before we came in. They successfully went to Edo and they were given access, even though there were initial difficulties, but they managed to resolve that. So it's not all, it didn't go all bad. Some of it went well and others didn't go so well.
Welcome back. A lawmaker representing Ibadan Northwest Southwest Federal Constituency, or your state, Honorable Stanley Olajide, called for a thorough investigation into the explosion that occurred in Ibadan on Tuesday. Take a look. The federal lawmaker representing Ibadan Northwest Southwest Federal Constituency of Oyo State has corroborated the statement made by the Governor Seyi Makinde that the explosion was caused by activities of illegal miners in the state. The lawmaker also called for a thorough investigation as it confirmed that victims are already receiving treatment at various hospitals in Ibadan. The quiet city of Ibadan was rocked with explosion at about 8 p.m. as residents of the state ran helter-skelter, scampering for safety, scared that it could be a bomb explosion. The governor of the state, Seyi Makinde, allayed fears as he announced that the explosion was caused by the activities of illegal miners in the state. This position was corroborated by the federal lawmaker from Ibadan, Honorable Stanley Olajide, while briefing journalists in his office.
You can be rest assured that we are going to look, all hands will be on deck. Part of my report to the Speaker will also to recommend some of the short-term and long-term suggestion in how we are going to tackle this. We're in the preliminary stages. I don't want us to put the cart before the horse. We are going to unravel so many things. There could be even more to all of this. So let's not act as if we know all the details yet. But based on the information we know today, we know that we have a lot of work to do. And both we are going to cooperate with the state governor, and the House of Representatives will offer all the support needed so that we can move Nigeria forward. And use also for Nigeria to use what has happened in Ibadan as a lesson learned so that this will not happen anywhere in Nigeria, which means also the control of explosive. If you have this kind of explosive that could do this much damage, so that means that this thing is relatively available in the hands of the wrong people.
Olajide also commended the quick response of the first respondents, the police, DSS, NEMA, and the Nigerian Fire Service, and further assured that the Parliament will be coming up with a report and reawakening the state police law to avert future occurrence. Also, Honorable Ademorin Kuye called for the regulation of illegal mining in the state and other parts of the country.
At this point, we'll let the first responders and all of the security, medical agencies, rescue missions, we'll let them go through their work, and then we'll now go there and condone with our people and also offer the relief materials, because when you have a situation like this, and also let me say this, I've spoken to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. He also has offered his condolences to the people of Ibadan and Oyo State at large. It's unfortunate, but the information that we gathered is that one of these illegal miners actually was in possession of this explosive in a residential area, which eventually caused this disaster.
I particularly have to come because Ibadan is like my second home. I schooled in Ibadan. I went to the University of Ife when it was in Oyo State. And I just want to further reiterate the position of my colleague that there is need for physical federalism, and that can lead us quickly to having state police. I believe that the president that we have has campaigned based on these promises, and I think and I know that is going to work with the National Assembly to ensure that we have state police.
Though the death toll from the incident is still unconfirmed, victims from the explosion are receiving treatment from various hospitals in Ibadan. On Constituency Focus, we speak with Senator Francis Fadahusi, representing Osun East Senatorial District. He spoke to us about his plans for his constituents. Here it is.
In the last 4 years, which we have not even finished, just last week, we still did about 2 or 3 empowerment, which no senator is even doing again. But nowadays, it should go beyond it. The power generation is poor now. The distribution is almost at 0. If the situation of power improves, then we want small scale industries. We have to go further. Enough of distributing 5,000 naira, which could not bring any development. If the state, like what Osun is doing now, Osun is now doing some major roads to connect the farmers, then our own would like to do feeder roads in conjunction with the local government. The local government now is working, at least in Osun. That's my area. My area is Osun East. That's Ife, Idisa, senatorial district. Our problem now is the major road, that federal road that passed through Osun to Ekiti, Ondo, and Kwara. So if those major roads could be done by the federal government, then we'll be okay. The remaining roads that we attract the farmers to come from the villages to town, that is our own problem, which is major. So we'll be able to cooperate with the state and federal, because we have been doing it, including bridges. Then we are going seriously to agric this year. God so kind. The two ministers in agric are all agric experts, and they are from Senate. So we have to go to meet, and we have met them to advance our own cause. Because the more we produce food, the less you see villagers coming to town to disturb peace. Then, if there is power, we have to connect them to do a lot of more of artisan work, which we are trying to do now. We have provided enough transformers, which at least there's no local government that got less than between 5 to 10 out of 11 local governments. We are still doing it. Then the rural electrification is the problem, which is major, which we have to start begging the federal government. And I know under President Tinubu, who is almost from rural area too, we know how to assist us. And by the grace of God, before we finish this, you will see that the economy will improve. Without the economy of the rural area improving, there's nothing the cities can do.
That's the end of the program. For your feedback, please email us at thegavel@channelstv.com. Let's make it a date again, same time next week. I am Benny Ark. Be well.